What's going on YouTube? Hey guys, it's Ben Nader, and this is the channel where we talk about recruitment, entrepreneurship, business, everything in between. If you like that kind of stuff or any of those topics, I vlog every single day on these things, so hit the subscribe button if you think that'll be a value add to your life. I guarantee it will be. So let me jump right into today's video, which is all about the top 5 mistakes brand new recruiters make. And you most likely will make these if you are brand new to the recruiting industry. So as most of you know, I started a recruiting agency about 2 years ago. It was a lot of the reason that I started this channel because I wanted to share a lot of my success, my information, my knowledge, and drop that all on you guys. So let me share some mistakes that I have potentially made and some that you potentially may make yourself. The first one is targeting the wrong market. Now, this is really easy to do when you first get into the game. You just have no idea who to target. You just start looking at businesses, and if you don't have any mentorship or any advice or anything like that, you might just start targeting random tech companies, sales organizations, random factories, whatever it might be, right? You might be targeting high-end pharmaceutical companies, and you might not even know it for that fact, right? You might just look up the company and say, I'm going to send you guys an email, and I don't even know anything about you, right? The truth of the matter is you should be targeting general labor, which is transportation, production, warehousing, logistics, all that sort of stuff. Easy, low-hanging fruit that gets you wins really quick. Wins get you momentum. Momentum keeps you going and scales you up. So targeting the wrong market is definitely a number one mistake that a brand new recruiter would make. And essentially, a lot of these that I'm going to mention are of note because they waste a lot of time. And so you've got to keep in mind, time is money. It's absolutely money. And when you make these mistakes, you're actually just wasting time. So by watching this video right now and investing like 8 minutes and listening to me, I hope that you don't waste hours and hours and hours of time rather than simply just taking this to note right now and understanding, hey, I don't want to make those mistakes. The second one is terrible messaging or terrible communication with potential new clients, right? So what am I talking about? Emails, LinkedIn messages, cold phone calls, whatever you do to message out, right? Everybody does a ton of different things, right? There's always the big battle, cold email, cold call, whatever. Whatever you're doing, do it right. So a huge mistake that a new recruiter would make is just horrible messaging. They might get on the phone and be like, hey, this is Ben. I'm calling from Disastrous Solutions. I wanted to help you guys out. I know that you're looking for some people, and I'm a recruiter, and I can help you out, and I can totally find you guys. They're going to hang up instantly. Okay, so you have to learn how to do a proper cold call if you're going to do that. If I'm going to be emailing out a client, I need to know the proper structure for an email. And I've sent a ton of you guys my cold email templates, the email templates that have literally made me $100,000 and scaled my business upward. I still use those templates with a little bit of adjustment, but long story short, your messaging cannot be terrible. So a lot of the mistakes that new recruiters make is they just have bad emails, bad phone calls, bad LinkedIn messages, and they don't make any sense. They put their, full, bio and detail about themselves in an email. People don't care about that. They just want to know what you can do for them. So messaging, huge mistake that new recruiters make. Got to get that on point. The third one would be not having an actual structure in place. What do I mean by that? I mean candidate fulfillment, okay? So let's say you're lucky enough to send out 200 emails, you get five emails back, you have 3 conversations, 2 of them seem viable, and 1 person signs a contract. Awesome. You did really well. Those are pretty good stats. So the 1 person you signed a contract with, you now need to fulfill candidates for. So you maybe set up some Indeed ads, some Craigslist ads, or maybe you source on LinkedIn, depending on the actual company that you've signed a contract with. And you need to know how to actually fulfill that, that requirement. So you signed a contract and you need to get them candidates. If you don't know how to find candidates or place ads or source for candidates or get the right type of candidates or interview for them or vet them or check them out or any of that, you're at a huge loss because you're not going to be able to deliver and your contract's just kind of going to go by the wayside. It'll be gone because you won't deliver any candidates. And so they'll get the candidates from other people and you won't get paid, and it'll be a total waste of time. And so understand, study, and learn up on how to actually fulfill candidates. And I've got tons of videos, over 180 videos on my channel, where I talk about how to source candidates and how to find candidates and how to place ads and how to do all that stuff. So learn that, check out my channel, find videos that talk about that stuff, Indeed ads, Craigslist ads, sourcing on LinkedIn, that sort of thing. So not having a structure in place is something a new recruiter would definitely make a mistake on, because they get way too ahead of themselves with the outreach, but then they don't realize what happens once someone says yes, right? So big deal. The next one is picking the wrong clients. So this kind of goes along with targeting the wrong market, but specifically once you do get in contact with particular clients, picking and working with or trying to work with the wrong clients. And there are absolutely right clients and wrong clients. And I've done videos on this as well that you can find. So a good client is a client, that'll work with you. They're amicable, they're nice, they're reasonable, their expectations are set, at a fair bar and all that. Bad clients are just very non-communicative. They have extremely impossible expectations. They're, not very polite, or they're not amicable with you, things like that. And they maybe offer you, a really bad rate, like maybe your rate was 10%. They want to pay you 5%. They want a 90-day guarantee. If you took something like that, that would be a super, super rookie mistake that a brand new recruiter would make. I've done something similar to this before and gave someone a guarantee that was way too long that they didn't need. They literally ended up wanting to replace the person I think almost 3 times, but actually found out that 90 days had fulfilled, and so I didn't have to replace them after that. But, knowing how to actually pick the right client and not work with the wrong clients can save you hours, weeks, lots of time. So heed that word. The last one that I would say is that just being a bad producer of candidates, right? Maybe you know how to find candidates, but maybe you actually don't know really how to vet them and interview them, okay? So ultimately, what your company is paying for, what your client is paying for, is for you to actually vet, source, and produce proper candidates for their needs, right? So they have to have X, Y, Z skills, they have to be the right caliber, have the right experience, all that jazz. And if you just find someone that applies to your Indeed ad that you put up and they look like a good person, they answered your phone call, you had a quick chat with them, and you're like, hey, I'm going to send them in, right? You're producing possibly a terrible candidate if you didn't ask the right questions, if you didn't kind of understand what the job description was and go over it with them, if you didn't really understand their background fully, and a lot of this takes time and skill, right? So this is a mistake a new recruiter would make. But not knowing how to interview someone properly, not knowing how to vet them, not knowing how to read people and having proper interview skills is totally a rookie new recruiter mistake that can easily happen. And it's easily rectified. You just have to do some research on interview technique, proper questions to ask, go over the full job description before you talk to an individual, make sure that you kind of do a checklist and check off all the tasks that person needs to do, make sure that they're genuine, and develop a sense of reading people, right? My golden rule is that when I email someone, they need to email me back within 24 hours, and they need to keep good email communication with me, or good text communication or phone or whatever. And if they don't, I already know they're a bunk candidate, because if they can't communicate with me, how are they going to show up at the job and actually do the job? If they're not communicating with me about the job, they're not interested, they're not the right fit, or they're going to quit after day 1, 2, 3, or whatever. So anyways, producing bad candidates is totally a mistake that you can make as a new recruiter. And the last thing I want to tell you guys is to smash that like button if you got any value out of this video, which I'm sure you did. I hope you did at least. And definitely subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. So I will catch you guys tomorrow on Thursday. I hope you're having a great week so far, and take care.